With Minecraft 1.20 upon us, it's really important to make sure your Minecraft survival world starts in the best seed for you. Whether you're a miner, an explorer, a builder, or a combination of all of them, if your seed has all the ingredients, your world and your enjoyment of it will be so much better. I've trawled hundreds and hundreds of the best Minecraft seeds for 1.20 and I found these 5 best seeds for you to try. Let's check them out. Seed 1 spawned you in the middle of a village with cherry trees right on its edge. There's a really interesting hole that you can make a feature of as well, right in the middle of it. The village is surrounded by an awesome biome mix of plains, forests and savannah, all within about 100 blocks or so, and there's a second village right next door. There are plenty of caves giving access to the deep underground, which we'll look at in a minute, and the whole spawn area has some great building terrain. Just 800 blocks south, you'll find the ocean with ruins to explore for sniffers and archaeology. 500 blocks east is a jungle with a bamboo jungle just inside for all of the materials you're going to need to make the scaffold for all your projects. 200 blocks east, you'll find a twisted mangrove swamp where frogs can supply the tadpoles to move away to any biome you wish. And ocean monuments can be found 1,200 blocks south and another 200 blocks east. You have not one, but 2 strongholds within 1,500 blocks of spawn, one directly east and one directly south. And you'll find mushroom islands 3,000 blocks away southwest, surrounded by literally loads of monuments. A Badlands is waiting to supply you with terracotta 2,500 blocks northwest, and another one is hiding 3,500 blocks northeast. If deserts are more your thing, then you can find one 5,000 blocks to the northeast with a desert pyramid waiting for you to search for archaeological artifacts inside. Directly under spawn you have got an awesome network of caves, many of them coated in dripstone. Getting down to the lowest levels of the world would be easy, with very little digging. There are plenty of spawners dotted around, plus geodes and mine shafts suspended from the ceilings of huge caverns. And the mine shafts are pretty big too. It would take no time at all to get a full inventory of ores. And the deep dark biome is there waiting for you as well, with an ancient city only 300 blocks away. So the overworld is brilliant. What about the Nether? Well, your Nether spawn brings you out in a Nether waste biome, and watch out for falling lava. But it is pretty open, so getting around should be quite simple. Your bastion remnant is only 150 blocks from where you spawned through, right under this crimson forest. So getting netherite smithing template should be a breeze, right? And your fortress is less than 300 blocks away across the lava lake and down this really long fortress corridor. Most of it is out in the open, although some of it is undercover. It shouldn't be too hard to get to. This seed would give you an absolutely brilliant start in your Minecraft survival world. But before you choose it, let's check out the other 4. Seed 2 spawns you in a savannah, right in the middle of a village. They're weird melons. Right by it is a river with its own broken portal ready to loot. There's a huge cave entrance just east to take you down below Y0, and heading out north and east will take you out to a massive ocean. Within a couple of 100 blocks of spawn, there are plenty of forests for spruce, oak, birch and acacia. Dark oak is only just over 1,000 blocks away, with cherry groves 1,500 blocks straight north. There's also a pillager tower about 200 blocks north of spawn. If you like archaeology, then bring your brush, because there are 6 pyramids south and west across a huge neighbouring desert with the Badlands right in the middle of it. If you head 1,500 blocks northwest, you'll find your mangrove swamp with a small jungle only just a few blocks away from it. You'll also find a mushroom island south of spawn with many monuments, and I mean many, in the 100 or so blocks around it. Icy biomes can be found directly east for all your snow requirements, including ice spikes, and your stronghold is about 2,000 blocks south under the ocean, so there's not too much digging down needed. Directly under the ground there is a sprawling cave system that will take you deep into the earth without digging very much, and there's a mine shaft with some pretty open access. There are loads of geodes within a couple of 100 blocks, and some of the caves are genuinely enormous. And as you'd expect from a great seed, there are plenty of spawners. Your nether spawn is in a soul sand valley, and it is pretty open, so do be careful of all those skellies that are going to be waiting to meet you. You have a beautifully open fortress just 400 blocks away. Look how open that is. That's amazing. I love that. It's over a lava lake too. So this is a great candidate for you to be able to make some farms. And you've got a little bastion remnant just 400 blocks away in the opposite direction as well. Easy access to get in for those netherite smithing templates. What a great little seed this one is, but don't choose it yet, there's some more to come. A haunted, abandoned village greets you when you spawn into Seed 3 in a plains with a cherry grove right by it that stretches for hundreds of blocks northwards. You're surrounded by jungle, ocean, plains and savanna biomes, and in the nearby water there's a shipwreck waiting for you. A pillager tower about 200 blocks north has Alley waiting to be freed, and even an iron golem that you can release to help you with your pillager problem. A massive badland sits to the east, less than 300 blocks for your terracotta and your gold mining, and a huge desert that extends as far as the eye can see is only 1,000 blocks in the same direction and hides no fewer than 10 desert temples. It also hides a stronghold 2,000 blocks away from your spawn. Another stronghold sits just beyond that large cherry grove, 1,500 northwest, so you can have choices for your end portal location. Massive icy biomes spread out from around that 1,500 northwest point as far as your render distance can handle. You'll also find a little mushroom island about 2,500 blocks north, right in the middle of a warm ocean. Under spawn, huge cathedral-like caves are waiting for you, with plenty of ores for you to come mining for, with a really big mine shaft that's got multiple spawners inside it, and there is plenty of deep dark biome waiting for you right under your feet. Your nether spawn is in the wastes, but it's nice and open, so getting around's going to be easy. And there's a soul sand valley right close by. 350 blocks away there is a fortress, but it's almost completely buried. All you can see are these little bits of nether brick poking out, and one of them's got a blaze spawner, so do be careful. 500 blocks away at the junction between a warped forest and a basalt delta, there's another open bastion remnant that lets you get right into those chests with some fairly tough guardians. This one would be a fun but challenging seed, but I reckon you must be up to it. But we got a couple left, wait for those and then you can make a choice. Seed 4 spawns you into a desert village right next to a big mesa and a little warm ocean with a tiny coral reef. Just to the west there's another desert village and the first of 7 desert temples for you to loot and explore. Jungles and bamboo jungles sit about 300 to 400 blocks to the north, hiding a stronghold northeast of spawn about 2,000 blocks just before a small cherry grove. On the other side of the desert there's a mangrove swamp about 600 blocks southwest of spawn. To the southeast there's a large ocean and a number of monuments too, with more mushroom biomes and their many guardians in a separate ocean to the north. A stronghold sits just 1,400 blocks almost directly south on the edge of a mangrove desert border, and just under 2,000 blocks to the northwest another stronghold waits on the edge of a vast plains biome. There's another slightly bigger cherry grove about 300 blocks northwest of your spawn point. There's a lot going on underneath your spawn. There's more than one mine shaft, plenty of spawners, deep dark, and it is great for both the cave miner and the branch miner. Whichever your preferred method is, this seed has got you covered. And it's another waste soul sand valley nether spawn, nice and open for easy access. And 600 blocks away you've got a mostly open fortress. It's not entirely over lava, but it is fairly close, so you could do it with a skeleton farm out of it if you covered up some of the spawnable blocks, and you've definitely got the opportunity for blaze farms. And only 400 blocks away you've got this really tall, gorgeous bastion remnant. It's beautifully open for you to be able to access it really easy from the nether wastes that surround it. Look at that. They're waiting to have a go at you, but you can get the chest really easily. Desert Mesa living is yours with this seed. It's a really gorgeous one, so much to go for. It's a great choice, but there's one more to take a look at. Let's go. Seed 5 is the only seed today with no village at its spawn, but there are several just a short hike away, southwest, northwest and north. There are plenty of plains and forests surrounding where you enter the world, so resources are plentiful. There's also a strange little snowy slope right there that looks a little bit lost. You enter the world right next to a huge ocean that hides so many ocean ruins that I lost count. There must be some sniffer eggs in there somewhere. An ocean monument is due east about 250 blocks too, ready to be converted into a guardian farm. However, what's really interesting is the crazy rare spawn of a mansion on an island that's smaller than it is, right in the ocean with nothing else around. Only 250 blocks southeast. If you like the jungle, it's close to your spawn in a southwesterly direction, and there's also a cherry grove to the southeast. Your stronghold lives across the ocean around 1,500 blocks from you, and another can be found 2,000 blocks northwest, surrounded by 4 villages on the edge of multiple wooded and frozen biomes. The closest desert pyramid is a bit of a journey at 5,000 blocks northeast, but it could be very worthwhile as there's more than 10 villages within a few hundred blocks of it to explore and steal camels from. Lots of caves winding downwards under your spawn. A lot of them are filled with water, but that's not surprising, you're right next to the sea. You've still got plenty of spawners to come and grab, and you've got a mine shaft about 200 blocks away with a number of spawners and a really tiny little deep dark biome right next to it. But if it's deep dark you're looking for, just another 100 or so blocks past that, you've got its big brother. There's loads of it around there, loads of XP, but be careful where you're walking, because there's plenty of shriekers as well. Your nether spawns you into a nether wastes. The cow is optional. And you've got a crimson forest right next to you, but you're going to have to dig into it. But when you do it, it's really quite a nice one. Only 250 blocks away, you'll find a warped forest. And right in the middle of it, you've got this beautifully open fortress. Your bastion remnant is a bit of a walk at about 800 blocks away. And the access isn't quite as easy with some of the other seeds because it's mostly buried, but you can still get in on this little corner. But once you're in, it is pretty big. It's one of the biggest ones I've seen. So come and get your smithing templates here. This one's very different to all the other seeds. No village at spawn, and your mansion right out in the middle of the ocean, completely surrounded by water. But I reckon it'd be quite fun to come out here and turn that mansion into your base, assuming the stuff inside it don't eat your face first. So which was your favourite seed? Let me know down in the comments below. 5 really great ones for you to have a go at in Minecraft 1.20 survival. And if you've got an even better one, let me know. I would love to hear from you. And I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.